And we are live. We have another Cardano news update. We'll just warm up the space and get everyone on board here. I've got my coffee, so I'm all set. As more people come in, this is great. Now, as people come in, I just want to show you guys something cool that just came in the post today. And this is ADAHandles cards. So they're an NFT project that are building on Cardano, but they also have their actual card game as well. And I haven't opened this up yet, so I haven't had a look, but yeah, pretty good quality. And yeah, check it out. So these characters and whatnot are all in their NFTs. Let me just bring them up on the screen as well. But this is their project there, and these are actually really good quality. I actually like it. I have absolutely no idea how to play this game yet, but I'll find out. I know there are detailed instructions on how to play the game. I'm just scrolling through. Let me just show you these. So there we go. Hopefully you can see that still with the camera switched over, but they're really good quality. It's a really nice deck of cards, and I'd love to learn how to play this. Hopefully they have like a live Discord session or something like that. But this is their website. They're still minting. It's one of those projects it's a very low volume mint. I think they're only minting like 1,000 NFTs, but they've been minting for the last year or so. So it's still going on. But I bought these cards. It's one of the things that you can do. It's you can find the link to it on their Google. Find the link to it on their Twitter profile. They've got a Google thing on there, and yeah, it's these beautiful deck of cards. It's pretty well done. Just check out one of these other ones to see what it's like compared to the other ones. Yeah, okay. They're all different sets, but this graphics here, I don't know if you can see the graphics very well on the artwork, but that's exactly what the NFTs look like as well. It's all that like pixel art kind of thing. It's pretty cool. Love it. All right, I'll check that one out. Just thought I'd give those guys a shout out. I've been waiting for these cards for a little while, so it's nice to finally get them here. Also like to give a shout out to some of these channel members as well that are jumping on and actually becoming members of the YouTube channel. And it's amazing. I never thought I would actually get a couple of members, but you know, Steve Godinson. Steve Godinson actually from DropSpot. So it's an NFT marketplace, curated NFT marketplace. So they're doing some really cool, amazing things. Mark Byers is from Self-Driven. So they're doing a learning platform on Cardano. So making resources and everything around the Cardano ecosystem really easy to get into. I just got a new member as well, Oscar Escobedo, just joined in on this live stream and became a member as well. So really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel and everything I do here. So with that, let's get into some news, but maybe I'll just quickly check the live stream chat and see what's going on there. There's always some activity. Yeah, Oscar, hey, I just joined a membership. You've been available and very valuable and passionate. Thank you, Oscar, for joining. Ryan, thank you for being here as well. Question for you today. If you want to lend your insight, yeah, ask away, Ryan. Or maybe a question too for you. Just drop them in the comments there and I can lend you some insights or whatever it might be, and we'll ask away. I'll pull up some resources depending on what you ask. But let's get back into this news update. I've got a whole bunch here. I'm not completely cramming the news updates like I normally do. So it's going to be a little bit more controlled. Or whatever it might. Yeah, just checking the audio. We're all good. And hey, Razzie Space, welcome here as well. And hello from Mexico. Hello to Mexico, I should say. All right, so probably the biggest thing that everyone's talking about at the moment is this vote for the stake pool operators and some of the changing parameters. I've got a short little video that explains the whole scenario and everything around it, but this here is a test piece for the next era of Cardano, and that is Voltaire, the era where governance comes into play and we can vote on particular things, such as changing some of the parameters in the protocol. Now, this one here, it's not a not a forced change, but it's a test, a litmus test to see how and what the community actually wants. And we can get some official on-chain data to actually see exactly how the community wants things to change or have them altered for the protocol itself. So if we go down here, we can see the particular things that we are voting for. Now, I'll explain this for people that don't understand. So there's a couple of options here. So we can keep K at 500 and min pool cost at 348. So this is the protocol settings as they are at the moment. So the K parameter defines how much saturation, how much ADA is needed to completely saturate a pool. I think it's 67 million ADA at the moment, and about 500 stake pools are needed to mint the blocks every epoch to completely saturate the amount of ADA. So the parameter can change to maybe 1,000. So that means more pools have an opportunity to mint blocks. But there's also this other parameter here, which is the min pool cost, and this is a fixed fee that was added into the protocol, and this is to make sure that the stake pool operators do have some ADA, some currency, some assets to actually pay for their infrastructure and servers and whatnot. So that's currently set at 340 ADA. So when you delegate to a stake pool, you don't pay that 340 ADA. That's a big confusion that everyone has. But that comes out of the rewards for all of the delegates. So if you look at our stake pool, let me just pull this up real quick, pool PM. I should have pulled this up a little bit earlier. Let's go to the search. I could have just used any pool really. But if you have a look at this, it's pretty high in saturation. It's at the 85% mark. But the amount of rewards that comes out of that, I can't remember what it is per epoch, but let's say it's 30,000 ADA. That 340, that fixed fee there that you can just see, there we go, just zoom in a little bit. That 340 ADA comes out of that total pool of rewards. So for a small stake pool operator that's in the ecosystem trying to drum up delegation and stake to their pool, if they're only getting, let's say, 100 delegates and their total delegation is at about 1 million, their rewards be very low. And having that fixed fee in there takes away a lot of those rewards for the operator, and then the delegates get a little bit less. Now, the protocol is supposed to balance out, and over time, your rewards are a little bit higher at the average mark. But because of that, a lot of people are put off because they do get less rewards from the early staking period. So a lot of people are impatient. They want all their ADA rewards now, and then they can move to different stake pools. So some stake pool operators even refund that fixed fee back to the delegates so that they're not missing out on their ADA rewards. So it's a pretty hard and brutal game sometimes, being an operator, and you need to make sure you have enough funds so you actually operate the stake pools, but then also the delegates need to be incentivized to delegate to you as well. So lots and lots of cool mechanisms there, and it's really interesting how that all works. But there's a lot of options here that we're voting for. We can keep K at 500 and halve that min pool cost, increase K to 1,000, keep the min pool cost at 340, increase K to 1,000, halve that min pool cost to 170, and prefer to abstain or none of the above. So we've got lots of different options here that stake pool operators and the community can vote for in general. Now, this is mainly it's a massive debate, and it all comes down to the security of the network, decentralization of the ADA, and trying to fight multi-stake pool operators. And if for those that don't know, multi-stake pool operators are the ones that split off and create 20, 30 stake pools. And what they're doing is they only might have 1 million or 2 million ADA delegated to those pools. The delegates, like I mentioned before, don't get their optimal rewards from that delegation, but the operators do get that 340 ADA and maximize their profits for those various stake pools. So we're trying to, try and work around that pool splitting idea and try and more concentrate amount of delegation ADA to saturate pools a little bit higher. So reducing that min pool cost means that those pool splitters won't have that kind of asset coming to them every epoch. So huge amounts of debate around this. It's really interesting where it's going. Now, there is a little bit of confusion around this as well, and people are trying to work out, okay, is this vote going to actually be placed and fulfilled and actually rolled out, or is it just a litmus test? Is it like a pre-run? Well, the idea is that it's a stake weighted on the mainnet on-chain poll to get sentiment in general. So I mentioned that a little bit before, but the sentiment will be taken to Amerigo and IOG for implementation and consideration for those particular protocol changes. So it's an interesting environment that we're in at the moment. And some of these threads just go on and on forever with a lot of people putting input into it. If you haven't seen it, I'll put links in the show notes for you guys. You can check it out on the website at learncardano.io and find out a little bit more about what on earth is going on with this and how all the voting works. Now, there's a lot of debate. There's a huge amount of debate around this. But with the launch of this whole voting mechanism, there's a new version for the stake pools to implement, and this is Node 8. So Node 8, it's a bit of a number jump, but they're changing to a different number versioning, and it's going against the protocol version instead of the semantic versioning number that we used to have. So at the moment, I think it's 1.35.6, maybe I probably got that wrong, somewhere around there. But it's jumped to 8 now, and that is to match the protocol version itself, if you're wondering. So I'll just take a short break there and check the live stream chat. Yeah, Adrian Sabo, nice to have you here as well. Where do I see? Okay, this is a question from Ryan. This is a really good question, Ryan. Where do you see use cases for ADAHandles in the near future? Now, at the moment, ADAHandles in the Cardano community is, I guess, a vanity URL for wallet addresses. So you can use something like $Pete, and you can send me NFTs, whatever it is, and you know that's a really cool use case. But the thing that ADAHandle are going to eventually roll out is a way that we can create digital identities on their platform. And that is something super, super exciting, because now little things like I can go to a DEX if I ever need to KYC for whatever reason and have my digital identity brought with me within that ADA handle and actually have myself KYC'd on that particular DEX. So it's a pretty cool, interesting mechanism that will eventually, I think, come into play in the future. If you look at their Discord server or on their Medium posts, they do talk about this as well. I did with my team consider making something very similar for Cardano Press. So for those that don't know, Cardano Press is a really quick and easy way to connect WordPress powered websites with the Cardano blockchain, and it has that wallet connect thing. So anytime you go to a WordPress website, use your wallet connect into that website, it'll automatically create an account, but it's completely anonymous. If you have a particular NFT or token like an ADA handle which had your digital identity into it, the Cardano Press plugin can read that data, unencrypt it, and then create a user account for you with the actual data. So you can have your name, email address, your Twitter profile, whatever it is. And what we were thinking was building something like that with an NFT token, so that you could easily populate a website with that data, so you're not doing it over and over again. So it's like a mini digital identity. But that's where I see a lot of ADA handles going in the future. And I'll come back to this question here. Ryan, you got another question. Does Cardano network still need new nodes to come online, or would a new node not help the network? Ryan, at the moment, there are about 3,000 stake pools operating at the moment. The parameter, the K parameter, defines how many stake pools are needed. So at the moment, it's 500. There's about 3,000 stake pools. So there's overabundance of stake pools at the moment. So having more, I believe, doesn't really help the protocol much more. Be really nice to see the ADA that is delegated to all those various pools split out to some of the outer edges, some of the small stake pool operators. That's why everyone harps on about single stake pool operators, ones that are people that operate just one pool and help decentralize the network. So it helps keep the network secure, because there's no one central entity that controls the majority of the stake pools, and it also helps with the distribution and what's the word? Decentralization. It's another D word. Decentralization of all that ADA. All right, let's get back into this. I'll jump back into the questions in a second. Otherwise, I've got a strict hour here, so I'm trying not to go over it. So this one here, Fluid Token, their ISPO, the guys have put together their ISPO dashboard with rewards checking. So if you're into the Fluid Token ecosystem, you can actually check how much ADA you're potentially, not ADA, how much Fluid Tokens rewards you're potentially getting by checking out their website and finding using their calculator and finding out how much Fluid Tokens you're actually earning. So they've got a couple of different stake pools. They've got their own stake pool, which is a 99% margin pool where you can delegate and earn and maximize your returns, and in exchange you give up your ADA rewards. They also have a whole bunch of community pools, so you can check out their website and check out all the community pools, but it's a split revenue, so you still get your ADA rewards, which you normally do for any of the community pools that you delegate to, but you earn a little bit of the Fluid Token as well. So it's a nice little marketing mechanism for them where they can actually distribute those tokens to as many holders as possible. And for whatever reason, this website isn't loading at the moment. I've had issues with my VPN at the moment, and I'm really annoyed with it. It's slowing down my internet. But maybe the site's just not working. Maybe it's there it goes. Responsive layouts. So it doesn't work on tablet maybe, or it was just rendering. I don't know. But they've got a whole bunch of pools here that you can delegate to. They've ordered it by lower stake to higher stake. I'm not sure if they had like a bonus a delegation for the smaller pools. I'm not entirely sure, but you can check out all the pools there and delegate to them and earn some of these Fluid Tokens. So it's a nice mechanism they put together. All right, next story here. This I thought this was really interesting. So I'll play this video. There's no copyright to this, I believe. But let me just get this setting right so you actually hear the audio. If you haven't heard this yet, it's quite interesting.
Take a few minutes to introduce a new service. Ledger Recover is an optional subscription for users who want a backup of their secret recovery phrase so they can restore access to their wallets whenever, wherever, even if they have lost or broken their Ledger Nano and don't have their recovery sheet with them.
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? So it's a new service from Ledger that will allow you to store your seed phrase online through their services. So it's subscription paid services, and they will look after your seed phrase for you. So, you know, at first glance, when you hear that, you think, oh, okay, well, what's the whole point of having a Ledger Nano hardware device with your seed phrases never ever online? And now they're offering a service now to actually hold your secret keys online. But it goes on. He does explain exactly what's going on.
For some people, it's a very convenient service, but some others simply don't need it. You can continue managing your secret recovery phrase all by yourself if that's why you bought a Ledger at the first place. This is not automatically enabled by any firmware updates. This is your choice. Self-custody is at the core of our offering, and your secret recovery phrase is created on your device. We have no access to it. This will never. Ledger Recover encrypts your secret recovery phrase and splits it into 3 fragments.
So I thought that was pretty important to point out. So now he's explaining, this is the CTO of Ledger. So he's explaining exactly how that secret recovery phrase is stored. So he goes on, I won't play the whole entire thing, but he goes on to explain that the seed phrase is split into 3 parts and then stored with trusted parties. That's the thing there. So your seed phrase is stored with 3 different trusted parties. So when you go to recover, you need to identify yourself with those 3 parties, and then they'll feed you the recovery seed phrase. And then with those 3, you can piece it back together, get your seed phrase, and then start restoring your device. Would I use this? would I use this at all? I'd love to hear your comments in the live feed there to see if you guys would use this as well. For me personally, no. That's why I got a ledger. I never ever want my seed phrases online. I know it's a really secure system that they're talking about here, where they're splitting it up into 3 parts, fully encrypted, and you can't piece together. You can't do anything with your seed phrases, those parts of the seed phrases, because they just won't match. You don't know where they belong, and you can't piece them back together. So you have to identify yourself with 3 parties to recover all those pieces and then start restoring your device. So really, really cool offering that they're having. If I was super paranoid about losing my stuff, my seed phrase, yeah, maybe if I had like a substantial amount, which obviously I don't, may consider using a service like that. But you know, I always go back to the trusted pieces of metal. This is a little piece of aluminium where you can have your seed phrase. You can split up your seed phrase into 3 parts and store them in 3 different locations, and one in a bank vault, one at home, and then one somewhere else. So you know, that could be an option as well. It's kind of like the same thing, but it's offline, and that's the thing. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Nope, self-custody all the way. I totally agree, Divi and C. Hopefully it remains possible to always check your recovery phrase and never left the device. If you guys never have tried, there is an actual application on the ledgers. So on the ledger, when you pull up Ledger Live, they've got a different app on there called the Recovery app, where you can actually go through and test to see if your seed phrase is actually working or not. You don't put it online or anything. You download the app onto your device, and then you punch in your seed phrase. So if you've never restored your seed phrase before on a ledger, give it a try, because it will take you through the process so you know how it's actually done. It's kind of like an educational thing, and a check to make sure you've written it down right too. So it's nice to have. And let me just check any more questions here. Oscar, I would not use this ledger service. I can recover mine if necessary, or instead of spending service. Yes, then just go buy another backup ledger. I totally agree with you guys. Benjamin, what do you use to engrave your aluminium? I have an engraver. It's something I bought online from a place, what was it called? Bunnings here in Australia, Home Depot, there's plenty of those places. I bought it for like 25 Australian dollars. So whatever that converts to your currency, it's fairly cheap. It's about the price of 5 coffees for me. And then I just engraved stuff on there. So, you know, it's the pieces of metal. This, I think, this came in a 1 meter or 3-4 feet. And you cut it down. You can bend this and mold it and just use a handsaw to cut it. So it's quite malleable in regards to that. So it's cheap. It's a very cheap thing. And then you can put like a piece of sticky tape on top of it, like a thick vinyl tape on top, so you can't visually see it. And then on a marker, you just mark what it is for which device it is. So it's a nice way of doing it. Cheap. Great idea with the aluminium, having 3 split in separate locations. Thanks. Yeah. Another thing that you can do with it is also have typos, like misspell some words. So if someone does find it, they'll misspell it, but you just got to remember that you've misspelt one of those words. So it's another thing that you can do. I'll pop down to Bunnings after work. Good stuff, Benjamin. good to hear. Always come up with new different ways to protect your seed phrases. This little book here. Now this is stone paper. Let me just switch cameras. This is stone paper. This is paper made from stone, so it's really hard to tear. I think it might still burn, but it's like got a higher burn rate. But this will help if you're storing seed phrases on paper. It will help it from deteriorating in an early process. I did an interview with the guy. The guy's from Melbourne, from BitSafe. If you can see that there, BitSafe. Website's bitsafe.com.au. I did the interview quite a while back. I don't know if he's still in business, but I just have a quick check. the bear market might not be operating anymore. Yep, there it is. BitSafe, stone paper, not your average kind of paper. So this was targeted for low tech people that don't have the ability to go out and get one of these aluminum things, and is comfortable with just storing it on a piece of paper. So it's a more durable piece of paper compared to just a normal piece of paper that you might use. If you are storing on a piece of paper, don't have it in a dark place, because ink does fade. And I may have lost the seed phrase that way. Anyway, hard lessons learned, right? We've got more news stories, so let me get back to this. But Ledger Recover, interesting service. Not for me, but there is options there. So it's nice to see and nice to have. This one here, this is a news announcement from Coinbase about Empowa and RealFi. This was absolutely amazing to see, and I have no idea how the team managed to keep this a secret. But that's Glenn. What? That was Glenn from Empowa. Where is it? There we go, Glenn. And they're talking about the entire project through this video with Coinbase, and it's a massive exposure for the guys. I didn't check to see if it had any impact whatsoever on their token price. Usually something as big as that, EMP tokens, would have had some sort of effect. Yeah, there we go. Big pump. Is it that big? I can't tell. March, April, May. So it would have been this green candle here that shot that price up. So I saw it and thought, well, too late to buy any more now. But people were selling at the top there and taking their profits. But it looks like it's staying at the stable price there at 0.42 ADA per EMP. Nice work, guys. I don't know what it would have taken to get that kind of collaboration with Coinbase. But to have that kind of exposure is absolutely amazing. And if we suddenly now see their NFTs or their token on Coinbase, that again would be absolutely amazing. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you guys are into Empowa. I absolutely love this one. Just checking the comments here. Mark, there's Copper Plate 1 too. Yes, Copper Seed Safe. I forget about this one sometimes. Copper Seed Safe. These guys actually use Cardano Press, our plugin, to give people a bit of a discount. So you can see the words there. It's really, you just use a ballpoint pen and you just engrave it into the copper because it's really, really malleable. It's thin enough for that. But if you have their token, the Cardano Press thing will detect that the token is in your wallet, the Copper Seed Safe token, the CSST, and will give you a discount. So it's kind of good to go get that token, buy it, and you get that little discount. For me, the shipping is astronomical here to Australia, so it's not worth it. But it's an option for you guys too. All right, next news item. We're on half an hour in, so I just got to keep moving through this. We still got a lot more to go. This one here is a shout out for GeroWallet and their DEX aggregator, which automatically searches the various DEXs in the Cardano ecosystem to give you the best price possible for your swap. So for a lot of people on the fly, on the run, if you're into those meme coins or whatever it is, you can use GeroWallet on the fly and get those swaps if you're at work and you don't have access to your computer, or if you're on a holiday somewhere and you should really be shutting off and not looking at the screen. But you can jump into your favorite meme coin or whatever and spend your ADA on something absolutely useless. But you do have those options. I don't recommend it, but you can. So that's a big shout out for Gero and the work that the guys do there. They are really focused on the usability and user interfaces for their wallet. So it's a really good wallet to have a play around with. This news item here is around Hydra heads and Hydra. So Hydra is now out on Mainnet. So version 0.10 is now out, and people can start deploying their Hydra heads onto their various solutions. So this is a layer 2 solution used for scaling up transactions on Cardano. Now this now I've got a video coming out on this, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but I've got the show notes, the video notes for this up already. So when I do a lot of these bigger pieces of content, I actually have to go out and do all the research. I have to write the content for it, and then I'll write a script on top of that so I can actually piece things together. So I did a comparison article here, which will become the YouTube video about the differentiation between Bitcoin's Lightning Network and how that works, and Cardano's Hydra and how that all works. So if you want to go a little bit deeper into it, you can check out this article. Links are in the comments right here, because I can literally just go like that and you can check that one out. But the video will be coming out and I'll be going into it a little bit deeper in the video. So I'll save it for that. But we'll start to see a few more projects start using Hydra, and that will allow transactions between two particular parties to be a lot quicker, a lot faster. This is probably something really good for GameFi, or from one big exchange to another that is doing a lot of transactions in between themselves and then want to roll those transactions into the main chain itself. So that's the way it's going to work. We could potentially see up to 1,000 transactions per second per Hydra head. So it's a lot of transactions, a huge amount of scaling. We're yet to see this come into play, but it has a huge amount of advantages in that you can actually execute the smart contracts on the Hydra head itself. So I did an interview with Pi, so learn Cardano Sunday swap. And of course, there it is, this one here. So this video here, I don't know why it came down so low in the search results, but in here, we actually go through and do a little demo of the actual Hydra head swapping on the DEX itself. So it's executing the smart contracts through the interface here using Hydra, and it's so fast. It's like instantaneous, and that's the kind of experience and level of DeFi that we want to eventually get to. So I'm really excited about Hydra scaling, L2 solutions, and everything else around it. So we'll see that come into play really, really soon. All right, next news item. Genius X, I'm a Genius Yield ambassador. Genius X is a part of it. I do a lot of interviews and whatnot for the team. But finally, they're going through their launch on this Genius X side of things, their launch pad and everything else around it. So I just give a shout out for the guys. Keep an eye out for the token generation event date. That's probably when I will see some of these Gen X tokens. Price allocations and everything else around it. So now this is going through their launch pad. So if you do want to buy some of these tokens, you have to KYC and all that jazz. So you can't just go in and just buy it and exchange your ADA for it. You have to prove who you are, etc., etc. So it's an anti-money laundering kind of thing. So it's if you do want to go into it, I personally have never gone through a launch pad. I've never given up my details to a third party that way. Only exchanges, because you need an exit point somewhere. But I haven't done it for a launch pad. So just a bit of an observation. Next news story here. This is incredible. It's this, even though it's a bear market, we're seeing more and more activity on Minswap and the various DEXs in the Cardano ecosystem, and more activity in general. So, month on month, we saw peaks there in March. We saw really good trading volumes in April, and now May 8th, 17.85 million ADA traded on, I think it was just that day, which is incredible. So a huge amount of trading volume for that particular day on the Minswap DEX, which is really, really cool. And I highly suspect it was all because of these meme coins, this SNEC and I don't know what the other ones are. I'm not even paying attention. Ah, boy. But yeah, we can see here Sebastian talk about the chain load and its capacity here, and is put through a big thread here about how it all works, and how side chains, Milkometer, it's a side chain, and how side chains can actually help with all this. So it's an interesting thread. Again, I'll put a link to it in the show notes. I'll dump this thread here in the comments for you guys. So if you're getting into it, if you want to learn a little bit more, there you go. Links, resources for you guys. Learn more. That's the idea. Now this one here, this is a really cool learning resource from Lending Pond, and this is a nice little flow chart of how to short on various markets. Lending Pond and Fluid Tokens are two markets that can short fungible tokens or NFTs on, and this is how you do it. So you got a balance of 120 ADA. Borrow some meme coins on the pond, so you get 500 meme coins. Sell those 500 meme coins for 100 ADA, so a little bit less. You go through, you save 30 ADA plus 120 ADA. Hang on, where's this flow go? This way? This way. Okay, buy 500 meme coins. Yes, that's right. So you sell it for 100, but then you buy it for less. So you're making a profit on there, and then you return those meme coins back into the loan. So that's the way you do it. So you make a slight profit of 30 ADA based on where you sold it and where you bought it back in. So it's a nice little mechanism that is possible. I'm not into this type of trading. I just buy something and then watch it go down. So that's my investment strategy. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm not doing too well. Just checking on the questions here and the comments on the live feed. I'm staking my Empowa on Genius X. Yes, Oscar. That is something I really got to do. I've just got these Empowa tokens floating around. I just don't know what to do with half of the stuff I have. I will check that out, and I should stake it at least. So if I'm just leaving it in my wallet, at least I could stake it and earn a little bit of extra reward off that. Now this here, Truth Wars TV, that is a backdoor that Ledger has in order to extract the seed phrase. It goes against everything crypto stands for. A bad move on Ledger part. Yep, you could be right there. This all comes down to trust with that Ledger side of things. So with the storing your seed phrase online, you're punching it in online, and we're just trusting that it is being split, it is being encrypted by and stored by those three parties. We don't know that, so we have to trust that they're providing that service as they say. So yeah, kind of agree with that. These are the comments here. Hail Hydra. Yeah, I can't wait. Hail Hydra. Probably Mithril or hopefully Babel fees. Mithril and Babel fees will come into play at some point, and that will change the economics of how the Cardano blockchain will work, especially when you can start using different tokens and whatnot. Oh yeah, Hydra is probably going to be really good for that. That's probably what you're getting at. Great video. Thank you, AL Hobby. Mini meme coin season on Minswap. Yeah, ADA Street Bets. It is. It really, really is. Let me just pull up Minswap. I love checking out what's pending in terms of the queues. So you still can't order by queue, which is really annoying. But Min, yep, Aggie, anything really stand out? What is this? SNEC, 544 orders waiting. That's also like probably buy and sell orders that are out of the ranges. So you can tell that there's a lot of activity when you look at the amount of orders that are waiting to be filled. 133 on CNETA, okay. 113, sorry. 172 on DAGAF. I have no idea what that is. I'm pretty sure that's a meme coin. A stable, 121. Dumb, yep, 56. Probably is dumb. What is this? Igon. Oh, right. IAG token is going 311 in the queue. I recall looking into this one here, and they had like a little bit of low liquidity at the moment, so the swaps were a little bit hard to do. Let me just go to, what is it? Later. Go away. Go to Pro mode, and I can have a little better look at this. Okay, token looks like it's going quite well. I haven't checked into this one here, but there's probably a lot of buy and sell orders open at the moment. A lot of the limit orders, I should say. Yeah, limit orders, those things. But yeah, it's bouncing around all over the place. I can't tell how much slippage there is. Usually when you punch in a large number and it gives you a little warning that there's hang on, let's go back to market price. Price impact, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I think liquidity's gone up a little bit. Interesting, interesting. Okay, always interesting to check out what's going on in terms of activity, and that's a nice little way to check with the queue to see what people are up to. Jen's tokens 182. I know I've got a couple of buy orders open, and I don't think we'll ever hit. I think I'm buying too low, but yeah, see what happens. Might crash when the DEX launches. Anyway, let's close that one down. I've still got news items to go through. I've got a little bit more, and then we can chat about stuff until the top of the hour. VyFinance launched. Oh my God. I've been waiting for this for like 2 years for these guys to launch and finally build out their platform. So we've got the bar open now. We have the DEX. We have all those things. I think liquidity is coming in on the various tokens here. So ADA ADAX VyFi. We've got a lot of token pools. We've got a lot of pools here. TVL is growing. I wouldn't say it's huge. You want this in the millions, really. But, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, it's growing. It's nice to see the ecosystem grow. You know, we've been waiting for this for such a long time, and a lot of these are going up. You know, they probably might have gotten a little bit of a boost if they opened up one of the pools that were these Memecoin things. Yeah, I can't see any meme coins. Oh, yeah, we got a couple there. But anyway, they're doing well. They're doing well. And it's so good to see that all come into play. I've been told that their farms aren't open yet. I haven't seen the farms. Yeah, here we go. First farm reward cycle will be on the May 29th. So we've still got just over 10 days for that to come into play. But congratulations, VyFinance. Finally, you guys have launched. I do have an interview with Stephen coming up to talk about the ins and outs of the launch, how it went. They've got a little launch party, I think, today at... I think it's midnight my time, but I don't know what that converts to UTC, but you can check out that live Twitter space, which is their launch party. I did suggest to have a launch party in Melbourne. I think he's still in Melbourne. I was going to come down and organize a meetup, but he never got back to me. A little bit busy, I think. That's okay. All right, next news item here, Liqwid Labs. This is, their Discord was compromised. This was on the 11th, so 6 days ago. Their Discord server was compromised. It was sending out malicious links and whatnot. And, you know, this is becoming way too common. I am going to assume it's a session hijacking event. It's one of those things where someone will send you an executable file of some sort, or a PDF even. You open up that file and it takes over the sessions in your browser. So if you've ever logged into Discord, if you're managing Discord, for example, and you've installed a plugin of some sort, you need to log in onto your browser, one of those apps. Well, I can't remember what it's called, the term in Discord. You need to log in on your browser to install that particular app. And in doing so, it stores that session. Now, these session hijacks can take over your logged in sessions. So this is anything you're logged into, such as Twitter, such as Discord, such as YouTube, and take over your account and start putting spam out there. So really, really important to lock down the security of those aspects. This bypasses two-factor authentication, by the way. So it's a nasty hack. But there is an option in your browser where you can actually close and delete all your sessions each time you close your browser. So if I close my browser right now, it would log me out of everything. All my sessions are completely closed off. So it's a nice way to try and circumvent this kind of thing that's happening at the moment. So I do that every single time. You do have the annoyance of having to log in again each time you open up your computer and your browser, but peace of mind. And, you know, I thought after the whole, who was it first? I can't remember who it was first that got hacked. But then after they got hacked, you know, it was a pretty quiet period. I stopped hearing this online, and various YouTube channels that talk about this stuff, I didn't hear about it. Then suddenly I saw this and I thought, okay, maybe I still need to keep this practice in play. So check it out. It's an interesting way. Look for a session hijacking. That's what you need to Google, and ways to protect yourself from session hijacking. This one here is also around Liquid Finance, and this is after they put in a governance. They put out a governance vote to reduce the amount of Liquid tokens that are coming out every single month, and there was a massive whale that put in 900. What was it? $900,000, essentially US dollars worth of GED, and they put it onto the Liqwid protocol as liquidity, so people could borrow against it, and then that person would have earned those particular fees. But after those fee parameter were changes and the rewards were reduced, they put it all out. So this person is very active and doing some interesting things with their GED, with their ADA, with their crypto to maximize their profits. And watching people do this is I thought so interesting, because some people are really on top of their game to maximize the amount of returns they're getting on their crypto, whereas I'm just holding and hoping for the best. But people like this are looking for every single opportunity to get ahead of the game, and that's what it really takes to get ahead in crypto. You got to know what's going on. You got to see all the opportunities. You got to do the math behind everything. Deep research. And then this person here was watching the governance votes to see where things were going, and as soon as it went the wrong way, they moved their GED back out, and then burnt it all so that the reserves back to normal, and they got the ADA back. So really interesting play. Probably a good move for them. Yep, probably a really good move for them. A few more news items here. This one here is for other content creators out there. So last week I held this Cardano content creators session or call, so CCCC, and we talked about different ways that we were creating content, issues that we're having, how to speed up our processes, and everything else around it. So if you're interested in that, I do have a link to it on the YouTube channel. It's on one of the private playlists. I didn't make it public for everyone. It's just unlisted, but you can find it on the YouTube channel if you're interested in collaborating with some other content creators. So we're trying to find how we can reduce the amount of time investment that we put into researching, making connections between each other, finding people to interview and subject matter experts on particular topics, so we can just bring them in live and just talk about stuff. So it's really cool that we managed to get that together, and I think there were about 13 of us on that particular first call, so I'm pretty excited where this is going to go. I've got an actual call with the Cardano Foundation a little bit later, in about an hour and a half, to talk about this as well, and open it up to the other ambassadors on there. So pretty cool. I love where it's going. We've got another call at the end of this month, no, mid next month. If you're interested, come on in, check it out, join the Cardano content creators, or if you have a project or something like that, you want to just chime in and just talk about something, we'll just pick your brains, and then we can do interviews and stuff around it. So it's a really good way to collaborate with all the Cardano content creators. Now I'm just checking on the comments here in the show notes, in the live feed. I mean, IG has a liquidity provider awards program on Min at the moment, so hopefully that will incentivize people. Yes, I did see that. I think it was on Minswap and on Wing Riders, so hopefully that does get more liquidity on there and makes trading a little bit easier. I think this year they're going to be launching their platform and everything around it as well, so I'm seeing Igon come into play, and more people using the platform, or actually using the platform for a start, will be absolutely amazing. So that's really cool. Dr. Payne, what do you got here? My guess, Cardano will make up ground next bull market and probably take at least 2 bull runs to catch ETH. You're probably right. If you look at CoinMarketCap, the ETH is still massive. It's still massively huge. We're majorly playing catch up, especially when you consider the smart contract era has technically only really started now with the ease of development. Things like Aiken or Option or PluTS or Helios, all those domain-specific languages that are out now, which makes development on Cardano actually easy, human readable, have developer tools behind it with Demeter and all that. It's just mind-boggling how easy it is. I actually went through the process of the tutorial smart contract development with Aiken, and it is so much easier compared to going through the Plutus Pioneer program. So if you're thinking about developing on Cardano at the moment, just go straight to Aiken. Skip all that crap that was around a year and a half ago. It's just way too hard. Aiken, super easy. Highly recommend it. But yeah, I totally agree, Dr. Payne. We have a while to go to catch up. Duncan Robertson, VyFi DEX is awesome. Very innovative DeFi on Cardano. I totally agree. Duncan, I know you're a massive fan of VyFi as well, VyFinance. Is the bar open? Yes, it is open. Great. I've got a video on this as well, like a video walkthrough on how the entire platform works. So if you want to check that one out before you start playing with it, it's an option for you too. Ryan, you're freaking awesome. Thank you for becoming a member. You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you, Ryan. So if I refresh this page here, waiting. See how slow my internet is? It's probably because I'm streaming. Total members 3. Oh, what's going on here? Memberships. See your members. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Ryan, for that. Let's check out some of these other comments. Hey, Peter, great catch you again, streaming live from the other side of the world. Love your show. Thank you, Henatavi. Well, I'm really good at butchering names. This one here from Sannet Van Art. On Meld Discord, there are scammers also giving out bridging links to people asking questions about migrating their older Meld. Yeah, you're going to get that. You're going to get that a lot at the moment. All those help desk support things. And you click on the wrong link because you're trying to be helpful, and the next thing you know, you've lost all your assets. Especially when we're now venturing into cross-chain stuff, and we're doing things on multiple different protocols. So we're using new stuff that we hadn't encountered before, and Meld is definitely one of them because they're discontinuing their old token, changing it to a new one. I can't remember the terminology that they used, but they need it for the new era of interoperability that they have. I can't easily log in and check that one out, but make sure you go into the right links. If someone's asking for help or whatever it is, let other people handle it. Let the admins handle it. Don't click on things. That's the biggest takeaway. Just don't click on things. Let me just check the comments again. VyFi has been extremely smooth. More features coming soon. Yes, definitely. VyFi has been absolutely amazing. Can't wait for the new stuff to come out. And Ada Street Bets, one comment here. Half of those content creators are already in the ABS group. You are welcome to join. Oh, Ada Street Bets. Yeah, cool. Yeah, awesome. I will check that one out. I didn't realize there's a group for it. So I'll check that one out. Thank you. So that's 5 members in total. This is from Oscar on your channel. That's surprising. You are very informative and genuine. I've been following you for, I think, 2 years now and have been very happy. Thank you, Oscar. But yeah, I've only started this membership thing and really spoken about it over the last month or so. 2 months, maybe 3. So it's still a very new thing. I don't really harp on about it, but I thought I should because, it's if I can create a sustainable way to create content, then I, can take this up more, do more of it, and deliver more for you guys. All right, back to the news. This one here I thought was really cool. This is more introduction and onboarding, Web3, all these rails that we need, and Stripe. Stripe is probably the biggest payment gateway used in the Web2 space. So every e-commerce website that I've ever built, and it's countless numbers of e-commerce sites, use Stripe. And to have this option here to do fiat to crypto on-ramps means like new applications such as NMaker or a crypto-powered learning management system can onboard many more users using their platform here. They've got an article that talks about it as well. They're only taking up people in the US, I believe it is. So you have to go through full KYC and everything, and they're only using particular regions of the world. So I think it's just the US at the moment that they're onboarding. But they've got a full website here that talks about it. So you can use their solution to onboard and get people to buy crypto through their platform. So it's a new probably really easy way to implement it here. So it's a US and invite only. So very limited amount of people at the moment. It's still very new, very fresh. But My Ether wallet will be able to have that fiat on-ramp directly in their wallet and things like that. And Magic, I think this is the NFT marketplace. So all those particular products, all those particular services out there, all those dApps can have a direct fiat on-ramp. NMaker kind of has this already. I can't remember what service they're using. And there's some other particular NFT projects that do that already as well. Now it's coming up to the hour, so I do have to wrap up really soon. But I've got a couple of more things here I just need to give shout outs for. So NuCast, if you haven't checked this one out yet, so NuCast are doing the whole movie distribution system on the Cardano blockchain. And they're doing some really cool things with their new video rentals platform on their platform itself. So you can actually interact with a smart contract and rent a movie to watch. You can check out more information about it on their Medium post there, but they're doing some really cool things. And, to go from, I swear these guys just came out of nowhere and delivering so much so quickly with their film festival, all the short films that they put out there and everything else around it. It's like, I don't know where they came from, but, they're delivering. They're far definitely delivering. So, with this, with Project Neum doing the distributed music royalties, the NuCast doing films and video, with Book.io doing book literature and publishing that way. Web3 is looking really cool on the Cardano blockchain. Definitely looking really cool. So this is one of the short films that was on NuCast. This is Wrath. This is Vic Duran, who is actually one of the NMaker team members, and he does a lot of work for the team there, doing videos and whatnot. And he released his short film. If you go to this website, there is a link to Wrath as well. It's rated R. I thought it was going to be a horrific horror movie, but it wasn't. It was actually something I could stomach and watch. So I highly recommend you check it out. It's only about 10 minutes long, so it's a really nice little short film, really well pieced together, really well edited. And I've got an interview with Vic coming up to talk about his background, his creative process, and how he came up with the short film, and what he's going to do with his company, Obsidian, and all the other short films that he's going to bring out and deliver on the Cardano blockchain. So I'm pretty excited to see the direction and the creativity that he's going to bring out to the Cardano community. And I think that's it. Did I actually get to the end? I did. So that's it. That's it for this news update. And thank you everyone for joining me on this live stream. Let me just check the comments here. Ryan, lovely work. Can't wait to keep learning alongside you. Keep up the great Cardano work. Thank you, Ryan, and thank you for becoming a member. I opened a case for Stripe, and they pointed me to the link. I guess Link is their normal user platform. They don't have Cardano supported yet. Okay, that's good to know that they don't have Cardano supported yet. It is... everyone just implements EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. It's easiest. It will support multiple different chains. So it's the quickest and easiest thing to implement. So probably Bitcoin and EVM-based chains are the first most sensible place that people would go if they're wanting to implement a solution like this. I've opened up a case complaining about not listing Cardano, and they scheduled a meeting with me to talk about it. Cool. Very professional. That is very professional. So I guess you really have to present them with a really good use case. Now, this is the type of collaboration, engagement that the Cardano Foundation should be doing. So if you want to pull in the Cardano Foundation onto that meeting, or point them to that meeting to have that meeting and see what needs to be done, then that is the perfect role of the foundation. What will most likely happen is Stripe will say, great, we will implement that if you give us $2 million. Or something absurd, and the foundation will probably go, no, we don't have a spare $2 million to spend on something like this, especially when we don't know the ROI on it and how many people in the Cardano ecosystem or broadly would actually implement it. So it's might not go anywhere. Peter, thoughts on doing a session for sharing crypto investment ideas? Dr. Payne, that's cool, but I really avoid anything around investment advice. There is a law here in Australia that if I break, it will send me to jail. So no, I won't do it. Sorry. Thanks for what you're doing. Yep, not a problem, Dr. Payne. Right, this is from Ryan. Could Stripe on-ramp be integrated with your Cardano Press WP site builder? Yes, it can. Yes. Every WordPress site you can install the Stripe plugin. So if they have that integration on the Stripe plugin for crypto payments as well, to buy crypto from it, then yeah, I don't see why not. So it could very well integrate in. As long as their APIs are there, it will work. Dr. Payne, definitely don't want you in jail. Yeah, thanks, mate. Neither do I. All right, that's the top of the hour, guys. Let's wrap up this live stream. Again, thank you so much for joining me on this live stream. It's been absolutely awesome reading the comments, taking you through all these news items for the last week. I will keep this time on a regular basis, so just tune in next week and you'll see these various news updates, and I'll take you through everything that's been happening in the Cardano ecosystem. Remember, you can become a channel member. You can also look at the merchandise down there as well. NFT project for Cardano Press, those Wapus will be coming out very soon. Lots of ways to support the channel. Absolutely love you guys. And thank you again for joining me in this live stream. I'll see you in the next one.